They used to be young.
They
used to be young once. It's been a long time since they've been coming, but... Oh, Castle Band!
See, we genuinely didn't intend performing tonight because we came here just to support Ron because he needs support. Actually, while the lads are getting themselves ready, I've got a question for you, Ronald.
Whoa! Are you listening?
Some years ago, on a winter, this is a true story, some years ago on a winter's night, well, late winter's afternoon, just getting dusk, Joyce rang me and said that could I help Ron because he'd gone fishing and he was down on the way to Shuttington, and he'd gone fishing down there and he got his car stuck in the field.
No, I'd left my lights on.
Oh, that was the battery. The battery was flat. You left your lights on. That's it. He needed towing out of the field. So I said, "Oh, right." She explained where he was. And I drove along, and sure enough, I just got by the bridge going in towards Shuttington where the traffic lights are on, if everybody knows the road. And there on the left-hand side, as you know, it's all wooded. And standing on the side of the road, in amongst the trees, was Ron in his old fishing gear with a length of rope. And I stopped and he said, in his Scottish accent of course, which I can't obviously, he said, "Do you know," he said, "I've been waving people down to stop and help me." Ron, did you really think I was going to stop and help you with your length of rope? I suppose the only person who might have stopped would have been Mildred if she was into a good. Into a bit of bondage. She'd have gone, "Yes, please." Oh, but it was a strange sight coming down to England and seeing cars with wheels on them. And all caps.
Anyway, Ron, we are some of your friends, and we're very, very privileged to play here tonight. I did make a few notes I was going to talk about tonight, but one of the things can I thank you on behalf of the Oldcastle Band and everybody in the club for the constant inspiration that you've given to the singers and players in this club over the years. And without listening and referencing to you, I'm sure our guitar tuning and harmonies wouldn't sound quite so good. The other thing is that I know you were born in Glasgow and that your early years during the Depression were very frugal. This is very true. And you're living with your parents and your brother and your sister, and that you were often forced to wear hand-me-down clothes. So that your mother could make ends meet because you were just a working man's wage in their house. And it's to your credit, Ron, and we've all talked about this, but it is to your credit that you wore those hand-me-down clothes with pride to your local school and even to the local dance hall. But your mother became concerned that you always chose to wear your sister's dress. And it was with some haste that you moved to Hamilton. And the other thing I have to say about national service, well, as you probably know, Ron didn't do national service, he failed the medical. Nobody apparently was more surprised than Ron, but the local doctor was very pleased that those 4 bottles of scotch turned up at his house. I've got 2 questions for you later on, Ron, and I hope you can hear them.
Peter.
You got to squeeze.
I'm okay. I'm fine, but see, Jim and Bob have...
We can't be sort of...
It's alright.
Malcolm, you need cinema scope for this.
I've run out of disc space anyway.
This is for Ron.
All the diamonds are shooting out for the neck in the stretch of bound, and the keys is all garnished at my head body line. Captain Thompson is the oldest, sail the ocean wide, where the sun it never sets me that. out the baron.
I always wonder what that guitar sounded like.
So, we're just going to do this one now, because it is bronze night and we don't want to... I thought you'd have had them tartan plush floors on tonight, Ron, didn't you? I thought you'd have had them tartan plush floors of yours.
Your legs.
Banter was right.
Come on, get your banjo.
Tone the bluegrass bit down, Ron, otherwise you'll leave them drowned, you know. Take your time, pal.
He's done something with his hair tonight, hasn't he? Have you done?
Joyce has brushed it.
Left it at home. A bit of snake oil.
She's put the gel on it. She's only for 43 years, but...
Came to Warwick man to sing the Warwick song. Oh Lord, it takes a Warwick man to sing the Warwick song. It takes a Warwick man to sing the Warwick song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. The train run, the train that I ride is 21 coaches long. Oh Lord, the train that I ride is 21 coaches long.
Excuse me. Oh, don't tell him. Don't.
Go on, tell him.
Don't go on, tell him. No. Yes, tell him. She won't tell you.
What won't you tell me? You don't want to do
I don't know what she won't tell you, but she won't tell you.
How come you want the wide-angle lens on that? Get him all in.
Oh, go on, be brave.
She's trying to tell you.
She won't tell you because she really likes you.
Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody's been saying when they first met Ron.
Ron, we...
The problem I've got most Fridays this time of night, I can't even remember my own name. Let alone when I met him. Who is he anyway? I know he sits here, but do you know him?
Yeah.
So,
I wish I didn't. Oh, no, you don't. You know.
I think you heard that.
We were in Yorkshire last week, and there was a bloke telling me what you're supposed to do with these capos. Apparently, it changes the key.
Wow.
The key that you're singing, and this bloke was singing in B flat. He says, but up here we call it A up. This is one to sleep to, Ron.
Bless him.
I know that one,
In Arnhem, in the county Galway, one pleasant evening in the month of May, I spied a damsel. She was fair and handsome. Her beauty pearly took my breath away. She wore no jewels, no costly diamonds, no paint nor powder, no none at all. She wore a bonnet with ribbons on it. Around her shoulder was a Galway shawl. We kept on walking, I kept on talking, till farthest cottage came into view. She says, come in, sir, and meet my father, and for to please him, play the foggy Jew. I played the blackbird, the rings of body, all rotten his glory, and the foggy Jew. She sang each note like an Irish linnet, and tears fell from her eyes of blue. She wore no jewels, no costly diamonds, no paint nor powder, no none at all. She wore a bonnet with ribbons on it. Around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. 'Twas early, the next morning I took the road to old Donegal. She cried and kissed me, or she sighed and kissed me, and bid me farewell. My heart remained with the Galway shawl. She wore no jewels, no costly diamonds, no paint nor powder, no none at all. She wore a bonnet with ribbons on it. Around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. Around her shoulder was the Galway shawl.
Joyce is
Oh, yes, she is.
giving us an insight into this man that was there. Joyce?
Well, yours here, Ron, but sit down.
Right down. Right now.
Come on, sweetheart.
Oh,
Didn't know you cared so.
Oh, I've always cared about this lady.
Tony loves you, Joyce.
Well, Ron and I have been married for 46 years.
Got up, you Ronnie.
Well done.
Thank you,
You don't really get for murder, do you?
You've tried enough times.
I've just been to Scotland, so I'm probably a bit...
You just carry on.
I've got several stories that I could actually tell, but
Keep them clean.
You know.
Keep them clean.
Please.
go on.
Go on.
I couldn't
Well,
bore
this-
you with them all night.
Yes,
so
we
I-
will.
Sophie's a girl of the world. She'll understand.
Oh, I've
Give
had
us
to
just
say,
one, Joyce. Go
Because
on.
living with this man has been
Nightmare.
hilarious.
And the education.
Hilarious. Anyway, the one I've decided to tell tonight pertains to music, as you might guess. But Ron bought a new video camera when video cameras were first, sort of came on the scene, and I was working late, as you'll know, Pauline. I was working late one night at college, and I came in about 9 o'clock, and I came upstairs, and he rushed to the front, to the door, and he said, "Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, I want you to sit down." So I thought, what's happened? So he led me into the lounge, and he sat me down in front of the television. He said, I want you to look at the television." So I sat there, and he switched the television on, and there was Ron on the telly,
Closed.
fully clothed,
Oh.
thank God, singing with his guitar.
I'd ask for my licence back.
What's he been up to? Anyway, he had this new video camera set up on top of the television, and he was videoing himself playing his guitar. So he was singing something like...
Reading my mind.
Was that?
If you could read
If you could read my mind, and I thought, well,
If you could read mine.
what's that? You know, this is nothing new, you see. And he kept sort of going up, and I could see him trying to adjust this camera, which was on top of the telly, and then he would sit back down, and he was giving it all the, as he does, you know. So I was beginning to get bored, and
So this is 5 seconds into it.
suddenly he disappeared, and his legs shot up in the middle of the television. And he'd been sitting on the edge of my coffee table in a glass centre in the middle of the... And what he'd done was he had adjusted the camera, and he had walked back and sat on the glass and gone through the coffee table, and his legs shot up in the air, and he shot up, and he did a Nicky because he was effing and blinding.
Oh no!
And I went, "The coffee table!" The coffee table was in bits. He had fallen through the coffee table, and he was standing there wiping his behind in case he got glass in his backside. All I could worry about was
The
coffee table.
Nice one.
Can you remember your first date with Ron?
Been trying to forget that for years.
It was the third one that really mattered, John. All right, I'll have the first or the third, whichever you like.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean.
What was it like? Go on, Joyce. Go on.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Give us the real deal.
Where did he put his chewing gum?
And his hooks and his line.
Well, as Ron told you before, we met when I was young. You know, I think I was.
You know any better?
I didn't know any better. Do you know? I was 16. And in Scotland, women did not go into pubs.
No.
Proper
Thank
thing.
you, Mildred.
Right,
It was not a proper
respectable
thing
women.
to
You
do.
weren't allowed.
You know, and I was a good, like you, good brought up girl, you know,
Yeah.
so I had never been in a pub before.
What?
But anyway, it was just at the time in the 60s when cocktail bars started to be popular. And
In Scotland. Some of them were in the Tam O'Shanter, weren't they?
so, Ron being suave, and I thought he had loads of money, and you know,
Oh
he
no!
had actually
Christy.
borrowed his brother's car and whatever. But there you are. Anyway, he took me into the cocktail bar.
Was it the gin store?
Which was called the American bar, believe it or not, which was very suave, and I had never been in a bar before, and I had never drank before.
Wicked man.
You wicked man.
So we sat down, and he said, "What would you like to drink?" And I thought, well,
I don't know.
no. I hadn't a clue what to want. But somewhere I had read or seen an advert for Pimm's.
How dare?
And Pimm's in those days were the most expensive drink. There was like champagne.
Oh,
really.
no.
You know, it was 76.
Is that why you drink water now?
So he said, "What would you like to drink?" So I went, "Pimm's, please." In all fairness to him, he never flinched.
His backside went sixpence. I went sixpence, shilling, half a crown, and
So I went to the bar, and it obviously. So he came back and he said, "Is it a Pimm's number one, number two?"
no expense. Tell you what, one of
Well done,
the
Joyce.
nicest things I've seen with Ron is when his grandchildren have been here over the years, and the way they look up into his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Ron's not in the first flush of youth. Have you seen the way his fingers go like that? Arthritis.
No, that comes from years and years of unwrapping sweets in his pocket.
It's funny you should say that. His grandson knows exactly where to go in the house, where his granddad keeps all the chocolates. And his son knew exactly the same. They always knew where he kept his chocolate and his sweets.
You thought he was there, didn't you?